Okay, let's say Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, we are still in Vipassana. Okay, now when we learn Vipassana, we need to go through. I just go and do some review about what is definition of Vipassana. There is a see something special way. There are three paths: Mula Magga, Pubbha Magga, and Arya Magga. So we start with the belief, and after that we practice Vipassana, and then we can get enlightenment. And how to get to Vipassana, all right, is through the 7 stages of purification and 16 types of insight knowledge. So for this kind of information, you can look at the Visuddhimagga, or you can look at any of the book, especially if you want to know the 16 types of insight knowledge, look for Mahasi. Mahasi Sayadaw, he had write about this, and together with the experience that yogi will experience when they practicing these 7 Visuddhi and then the 16 Vipassana. Later I will give you the link, all right? And then these are 16 Visuddhi, 16 Vipassana. And I think last time I only go through briefly. So about this contemplation, basically when we talk about Vipassana is try to see all the Namarupa as anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? So come to this anicca, dukkha, anatta. According to the Abhidhamma and also according to the path of purification, we can have 3 types of contemplations. There is anicca nupassana, dukkha nupassana, anatta nupassana, and it depends on the mind inclination. So if the mind is having faith, then it suggests that the person should do anicca nupassana, contemplation of impermanence. And with the samadhi, then they can do the dukkhanupassana. And when the mind is on more on wisdom, then it suggests that they should do on the anatta nupassana. This means that if you feel that your mind is more towards faith, and if you think you have good samadhi, you should try anicca and dukkha. But if you think your mind has strong in wisdom, so you can try more on anatta, right? And it leads to the corresponding 3 types of freedom, where the liberation from signless, and then the desireless and sunyata. Okay. I think last time I just go briefly. Now today we will just read some. Okay, now the contemplation of impermanence is termed as a contemplation of signless because it abandons the sign of perversion, vipallasa, vinimita. This means that see as Nicca, Sukha, Atta, Subha. So this is a term that you all should remember, right? So when people see this is we call it perception, or here is used the vipallasa. Vipallasa means a perversion. See things in a distorted way, right? This means that everything nama rupa or any phenomena as a Nicca, Sukha, Atta, Subha. So they prefer to see in this way. I will use the word. So, but actually, everything the Buddha advises should see as anicca, dukkha, anatta, and asubha. All right. So come to here. Most of you are familiar with the anicca, dukkha, anatta, but actually we should see anicca, dukkha, anatta, and asubha. I think you all know the meaning. Anicca is impermanence, dukkha is a suffering, anatta is non-self, asubha is impurity, means foulness. That's the how we should do the contemplation of our body, 32 body parts, contemplation of corpse and so on. All right. So this is impurity or foulness. Then subha means beauty. All right. You see everything as beauty. Okay. So because of this anicca, dukkha, anatta, and asubha, that's why we have 3 types of contemplation, right? According to Sada, Samadhi, and Panya. Okay. Now, all these are still more on theory. You know yourself if you are more on panya base. You know yourself if you are more on samadhi base, and you know yourself if you are sada. Because last time we are talking about the charita, different types of behavior or inclination. You already know based on your behavior. For example, if you're somebody who prefers to think about the Dhamma, when you read the Dhamma book, you find interesting. Or if you're somebody who like to pay respect to the Buddha, see the Buddha statue, you like to go and do donation, so you're more sada. Or you think that you like to quiet down your mind, you don't like to associate with people, you think you maybe have more concentration, right? Okay, so this is the explanation. Now, contemplation of suffering is termed as this contemplation of desireless because it terminates desire by abandoning the false perception of the pleasure informations. Because when you see something as suffering, right, then you abandon desire for it. So that's why contemplation of suffering is termed as the contemplation of desireless. So when this is a Dukkhānupassana, we call it as a desireless, liberation of desireless. And then non-self is, of course, is termed as void because it sees formation as being void of self, a living being, or a person. Okay. So I think this cover the charts here already. So I sent to you this one. I think last week I also sent to you this one. So you all should be able to follow. Now, thought process we already mentioned about actually is same except because this is in the mind, you will have the mind everything. Then there are four special preliminary that happens before the path. So we call it parikama, upachala, anuloma, gotrabhu. So preliminary, access, conformity, and change of lineage, right? Then after the pala, after the maga, then there are two pala. For this, for somebody who who are normal, right? But it's somebody who are very sharp faculty, right? So this normally they call it for dull faculty. Dull faculty means it's not so sharp. Not to say that they are very stupid or what. But if the mind is very sharp, so they can skip the parikama, all right? Because of skipping this one, that's why the pala, there are three instead of two. Fusion. So after the path, there are three pala, three fusion. So that's the difference between here. Right, I think conformity, got trouble, we already mentioned. Okay, now this is the process of enlightenment, all right? So when we say this process is the maga and palachita will arise, all right? So when this arises, that means that the person definitely become an enlightenment, or become an enlightened, become a noble person. So the path has four functions. So it's very important to know because when we study the sutta, so all the sutta, they talk about knowing the Four Noble Truths, right? So, but only at the moment of the path, then the person really understand the truth of suffering, okay? And only at that moment, the craving will be removed. And then at that moment, Nibbana will be realized. And at that moment, the noble path will be fully developed, right? So only at the path moment. So in our normal time, of course, we understand some truth, but we do not really fully understand. In our normal life, our normal time, we also develop the noble effort path to some extent, but we do not fully develop. Okay, it's only at the Magga path we would fully develop these Four Noble Truths. So I think this one I mentioned already. This one I think not so important. Now, stream and teller, I also go through here. I think you all can read yourself. This is today actually I want to talk about something new. So we already go through this one. Okay, now this one is something I think people should know, all right? Because this one is actually covered in the Abhidhamma book. Why is it? Because we want to know when somebody attend the Nibbana. This means that when they attend Nibbana for the first time, at that time, the Magga and Pala, path and fusion arise, taking the Nibbana as a subject. So after that, will they experience the Nibbana again? Will they or will they not? How do they experience the Nibbana? This is through this method. We call it the Phala Samapatti, attainment of fusion, right? This means that the attainment of fusion is common to all, each being able to attain their respective fusion. But the attainment of cessation is accessible only to non-returner and arahant. So this one we will explain later. So fusion is available to all the noble disciples who already attained Nibbana before. All right. Now, what's the purpose? Purpose is they want to experience the Nibbana right here. All right. Actually, there are two types of Nibbana. One type of Nibbana is attained after they pass away. Okay. So another type of Nibbana is they attain right now without passing away. So this is a Nibbana. So by this process, Phala Samapatti. This means that it's not that every time they must pass away, then they enter to the Nibbana. They can even experience the Nibbana at this moment. So why do they want to experience the Nibbana? Because sometimes maybe they have body problem, or maybe they are living in an environment not so conducive. They just want to escape from the Namarupa, all right? So they just want to experience the bliss of Nibbana. So that's the purpose here, right? And the chitta that occurs in this attainment are the fusion chitta corresponding to the disciple's level of realization. Thus, each of the four grades of noble individual can enter to their own proper fusion attainment. This means that the stream enterer will attain to the fusion attainment or stream entry, right? So we have four magga and four phala. So if somebody attain a certain phala, then they can attain back to their phala, right? So if they are at the third level of enlightenment, they will attain to the third level of phala. Okay, but they still need to make some resolution. So they need to determine in their mind before they develop the insight. But here they don't need to develop from the very beginning. No need to develop for the Namarupa. So it suggests that they can develop from this insight number 4. Okay, yes, Badako, you want to ask something?
Yeah, I thought all this while I was thinking because when they attain the Magga, there's only
Okay.
one consciousness.
Okay.
So how do they become proficient in their attainment of the fruition at that level? So it seems that they have to be proficient at that level before they can proceed on with the next level, right? I thought the
It
Pala
actually
how to
depends on their parami. There are some arahant, they go for even like Buddha. We say Buddha actually is arahant, right? So Buddha, he attained the first magga, then phala, then second magga, second phala, third magga, third phala, fourth magga, fourth phala, at sequence right after one another. So he don't need to practice. There are some those arahant like Bahia, Darucharya, all these are very have a very good parami. So they don't need to like attain the first Sotapanna, then they practice for 10 days, 20 days. No. They attain sequence, they go for first enlightenment, second enlightenment, third enlightenment, fourth enlightenment straight away. All right. But at the moment of first time they see Nibbana, we will say, use the word first time they see Nibbana using the Magga. Magga is only one moment. Then there will be Phala. But if they want to experience we call it the result, the bliss, then they have to practice another type. So this is the one that I'm trying to experience, try to explain by today, right? So this is called Phala Samapatti. Okay. And the purpose is not to cut off any defilements, all right? Because only Magga, Chitta, path can cut off the defilement, all right? So Phala Samapatti, the purpose is just to enjoy, okay? But this is not the enjoy with the greed or whatever. This is just enjoy the result of the Dhamma. Can you follow?
Yeah. But I also remember
Mhm.
reading that there is a need for them to review, right? Review the
Yes.
achievement. So
That
review,
is that is mentioned earlier on. Okay, there's a mention, I think, previous paragraph. Okay, this is the one. Um, okay. I did go through last week. You missed the class. Okay.
mm, that-
You didn't listen to recording.
I haven't got the time to listen.
Okay.
I'm rushing the assignment.
Okay, no problem. You are very busy than me, I know.
Uh,
Okay. All right.
Thank
So just to tell you all, there are different types of attainment. Not to say attain nibbana is one type. All right. So this is another way to attain nibbana and enjoy the nibbana. All right. So that's the purpose of here. So why, as I mentioned just now, it's because maybe they have suffering from body problem, or they're living in an environment that not so conducive, or they just want to so-called the word. Sometimes you can use the word like pass the time, because when somebody attain up to the state of arahant, they don't have any other purpose already. Okay, so might as well they enjoy their life by enjoying the nibbana because they had done the job. So when somebody reached the state of arahant, we use the word they have fulfilled their duty. All right, they complete all the tasks. So okay, can you follow? Okay. Now, of course, when they start to practice, they don't need to practice from the zero. They start from the knowledge of rise and fall, the number four. Okay. Now, the process will be something you see earlier on. So for this, I put down there, you can refer to this book. There's one book very good because it explains the different type of reading process. It's actually explained more clearer than the handbook or comprehensive. So this is called a process of consciousness and matter. You can find the PDF where it explain different type of process. Okay. Now the process here, if you compare with the earlier Magga, we'll later, all right? So the process will be like this. Okay. So what you see here, there's no maga. Remember, the purpose of maga is a cut-off defilement. Now, it's only pala. So they have the stream of bawanga and then vibrating, arresting. So you see this one in all the like thought process to do with the idol and also in the mind or same. They must be arresting means cut off the stream of the bawanga. Then there will be Maido, everything. Then there will be preliminary. Then here is only anuloma, 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 4 times. Then there will be many pala fusion, then bawanga. Right. So if for those who are the faculties are not key. If the faculties key means that the mind is very sharp, it said that there's only three these conformity. So 3 anuloma only, and pala will be alone, right? So for more information, please read the book I recommended just now. Okay, I require somebody to read, all right? Okay, somebody will read this one. Maybe Brother Claude, you can read this too, okay?
Okay. The the stream enterer who has attained the first jhana, the path and fruition, would then like to live experiencing the fruition of his attainment. By taking Nibbana as an object, he meditates on the conditioning states of mind, states of mental and material phenomena. When one of the three characteristics of the phenomenal world enters very clearly at the avenue of his mind door, Bhavanga vibrates twice and is arrested. A mind door averting chitta arises. Then, if the individual is down-witted, conformity, anuloma arises 4 times as preliminary jhana. If he is keen-witted, conformity anuloma arises only 3 times as preliminary jhana. Then Prussian jhana's arise for as long as the meditator wishes. When he emerges from the cushion process, there follows subsidence into Bhavanga state.
Okay, thank you. So this is just try to explain this process as above. All right. So actually, it's only for those who are interested in this VT process. The main key point is the Pala Samapatti is only for those noble disciple. All right. It's not for normal person. And the purpose is only try to experience the bliss of Nibbana here, anytime, any place. But of course, they must do some kind of like resolution, right? Not just going like that. They need to resolution, or they want to attain the this Pala Samapatti. Okay. Yes, Brother Cole, you want to ask next some questions? Just now, you raise your hand. Yes.
Yeah, is regarding the knowledge of rise and fall. Does the rise and fall refers to the arising and the ceasing of phenomena?
It refers to the fourth Vipassana knowledge. The earlier one we see. So this means that they will go through the 16 Vipassana knowledge, but they don't need to go for this Sila Visuddhi, Chitta Visuddhi, right? They also don't need to go for Namarupa because at that time, remember when at the first enlightenment, they already get rid of the Sakaya Ditti. So they will not have wrong view here, right? Then they also can see Namarupa. So what they start is this one, Udaya Vayanyana. Okay. Yes, Thomas?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So does this mean it is necessary to attain the first jhana to practice the path Rushan?
It didn't say here. It didn't say here that you have to attain a jhana. All right. But
In the first
normally,
sentence.
because it didn't say anything here, according to text, it didn't say whether the person need jhana as a stepping stone. But we
in
will
the first
assume that,
sentence it says,
yes, which one?
in the first sentence of
Okay.
the text Brother Cole was reading now, it is said,
Okay, yes.
the stream enterer who has attained the first jhana. Is it necessary that he attains the first jhana?
Okay, this according to text I get from this I think handbook of Abhidhamma. But according to other texts, I don't think necessary. But they can base on any jhana if they have first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. But the problem is if they are just dry vipassana, there's a vipassaka, means that they are practicing without jhana. They also can get enlightenment without the jhana. Okay, so this text maybe we can make it as depends on the person who write this text. But I would think it's subject to different ideas of different commentator, right? Okay. Yes, about it.
Okay, thank you.
So meaning if it's a dry vipassana, then it is upachara samadhi will do that. That means access concentration.
All right. Access concentration, yes, but it's very easy for them to get to, even like this, I would say it's very easy for them to get to jhana because their mind is very pure, right? So whether they get to access concentration or get to jhana is not a big problem because their mind already have the chitta visuddhi. The idea is that they must be free from hindrances and their mind must be strong enough to practice again. Of course, they will be their mind will be strong enough because they are the noble person. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now this one is another type of attainment. So today I just want to show you different types of attainment, just to tell you that they are not just Nibbana is only the first way. So just now the fruition attainment is another way. So this is also another type of attainment. It's actually quite strange one. But I think Sister Chai-Hun, can you read up to here?
This attainment is accessible only to non-returners and arahants. They must have attained jhana attainments. They must have attained all jhana attainments, who have mastery over all the rupa vachara jhanas and arupa vachara jhanas. That is 8 or 9 jhanas. It can be obtained only within the sensuous plane, kama vachara, or the fine material rupa vachara plane of existence. It cannot be obtained within the immaterial plane. In the meditative sequence, one must attain the first jhana, then withdraw from it and meditate on it through insight knowledge, taking factors of jhana as the object. He contemplates those jhana factors as impermanent, suffering, and non-soul, non-self. So here, samatha and vipassana go hand in hand. The same way should be applied to the second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. First arupa jhana, second arupa jhana, and third arupa jhana. Then withdraw and meditate on it through insight knowledge. After that, he must perform the 4 preliminary functions by making these resolutions. The requisite not in use are not to be destroyed. The waiting of the sangha, the summons of the great teacher, the limit of one lifespan.
Thank you. Now for Thomas' question, this one you see. They must have, for this attainment, Nirodha Samapatti, attainment of cessation, they must have jhana, right? So this is the criteria here. For the earlier one, it didn't say that they must have attained. It just say somebody who has attained only, all right? So you can see the texts are different here, right, Thomas? For this one, they really
Okay, thank you.
must have all the rupa vachara, means the 4, and arupa vachara 4. This means 8 or 9, depends on calculation. And only in the kama vachara and rupa vachara, cannot be in the immaterial plane, right? So you can see this is actually required samatha and vipassana together, but this is very high level type, okay? Because the samatha is very high level samatha. So there he go to jhana, come out, then take the jhana factor, and then he contemplate it, anicca dukkha anatta. Then he go to another jhana, one by one. So he go for first, second, third, fourth, first arupa, second arupa, third arupa, right? Then after the third arupa, not yet finished, all right? Then he must do the 4 preliminary function. Okay, so this is the one. So after he do the 4 preliminary function, then there will be this one. Okay. So after do this 4 function, it's kind of like determination, because this determination is important. Right? It will be the text will be explained later. So then he must attain the 4th arupa jhana. Right? This means that after the third, he do this 4 restoration first. Then after that, he go for the last one. Okay, last arupa. Then after the 2 moments of 4th arupa, then he in this cessation. All right. So the 4th arupa chitta is the end of mental activity. During the attainment of mental cessation, all the minds and mind-born matter, this means the chitta jalupa. This means that all the chitta and chitta jalupa come to cessation. This means that there's no chitta or chittasika during the Nirodha Samapatti. This means that his mind is totally stopped. All right. So the body continues, but he will not eat or sleep or whatever during the 7 days. All right. When he are doing this one. So the mind is actually total stop. So only the Buddha can see such a highly attainment stage. Okay, and this is the thought process. Okay, we call it Viti process. So there will be stream of bhavanga, vibrating bhavanga, arresting bhavanga, then mind or everything. Then you see the same thing again. Preliminary access, conformity, change of lineage. Then there are jhavana, 2 jhavana. Now I was thinking, why only 2 jhavana? So I doing calculation here. So there's only 7. Normally, some of the mental process, except the dying process, because of the weak heart base, is only 5. But normally there are 7 chitta here. Then there will be cessation. So this is the one that we say here, cessation. Okay. So the mind totally stopped here. It's like the body continue, but there's no mind at all. So this is called Nirodha Samapatti, right? So later we will discuss why somebody want to attend to this one, right? So after that, there will be fruition chitta, only one will arise, okay? Okay, now, somebody will read this one, okay? Thomas, you will read this one?
According to limitations made previously, one withdraws from such a state. At that moment, the fruition of non-returner arises within an anagami, and the fruition of arahantship within the arahant arises only one time. Nirodha Sampati is also called Sanya Vedayita Nirodha, extinction of feeling and perception, is the temporary suspension of all consciousness and mental activity. It has a few purposes. 2. Serves as peaceful abiding here and now. 3. Allows complete rest from all mental formations. These two attainments, Phala Sampati and Nirodha Sampati, are the advantages of Vipassana meditation.
Okay. Now, you can see when they reach the cessation, the mind totally stops. So that's why it has another name, Sanya. All right, Sanya here means perception. Vedayita means feeling. Nirodha, extinction. So we are talking about 5 aggregates, right? So the body still continue, rupa still continue, but if the feeling and perception totally stop, so this means that the 5 aggregates, you can say only rupa will continue, right? Okay. So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of this one? First, it's also another happy, a peaceful moment for the person who the person who want. But what kind of person can attend this one, all right? It's only those, this one. Not even the first stage of enlightenment, not the second stage of enlightenment. It's only the third non-returner and the fourth stage arahant, all right? Only 2 types here, noble person. Okay, so it's not for all the noble person. So they just want to stay and enjoy here. And then another reason is they just want a complete rest from all the mental formation. All right. For those who are very, how call it, they have strong mindfulness. They understand the mind is very active all the time. You know, when we see something, we hear something, our mind is like a lot of mental formation. So sometimes they just want to rest. They just want to stop for all these mental formation. So that's why they practice this one, right? So these 2 attainments, this is the conclusion, right? Phala Samapatti and Nirodha Samapatti are the advantages of Vipassana, right? But like just now say, if somebody want to practice Nirodha Samapatti, they must have all types of jhana. So at that time, jhana is compulsory. But for Phala Samapatti, it didn't say, because it's possible to go for Vipassana without to the Samatha, all right? Now, this is interesting. Okay. Now, okay, somebody please read. Okay, next person. Brother King, you try.
Okay,
Right.
more detail on 4 preliminary functions. He must perform the 4 preliminary functions by making this resolution. 1. The requisites not in use are not to be destroyed. 2. The waiting of the Sangha. 3. The summons of the great teacher. 4. The limit of one lifespan. 1. The requisites that are attached to him, like ropes, are automatically exempt from being destroyed. He makes the solution so that his requisites that are not attached to his body, that are some distance away from him, should not be destroyed. He makes a resolution that way. May my requisite not be destroyed by fire, water, and so on. The story of Venerable Sanjiva, one of the 2 chief disciples of Kakusanda Buddha, he was expert in samadhi and lived in cells, caves, etc., sustaining himself on samadhi. One day, when in a state of trance in a forest, woodman, thinking him dead, burned his body. But he, emerging at the proper time from his trance, shook out his robes and entered the village for alms. Hence his name Sanjiva, the survivor, MN 1.333.
Okay. So this one also is a story of this Sanjiva. He practiced this Nirodha Samapatti. So when people because he just exists like a kind of like wood. So then the person who in the forest, they pass by, they thought that he had already died because he's not breathing. Right? In a Nirodha Samapatti, the mental activity stop. He doesn't look like breathing at all. So there's no sign of life. So then they thought he died. So they burned the body. All right, burn the body. But after that, he emerged from trance. Even like that time, you can see his robe is not burned at all. Right? So that's why he does not need to purposely make the first one. The first one is that for those person practice the Nirodha Samapatti, he must make a resolution that the requisite not in use are not to be destroyed. This means that if he stay in a place and the rope is like another village, he need to make a determination that the ropes in another village not to be burned. Okay. But for this Sanjiva, he no need to do the number one. This means that. Okay.
Teacher.
Yes. Okay.
So you say the what you call the requisite. I really don't understand the word.
Requisite means that
requisite
the
not
ropes,
to be used are not to be destroyed.
the ropes to bow, the one that
That
used
means
by him.
if he is having it, so like this when Sanjiva, he was burned, so the whole rope is still not being burned.
Yeah. So this is the one. The requisite attached to him, right? Ropes are automatically exempt from being destroyed. All right. So the ropes, because he's
while he
wearing
was
it.
wearing it,
Yes, he
while
was
he was
wearing
wearing
it.
it.
So even though they burn it, it is not being destroyed at all. Okay. That's the meaning.
Oh, means while he was sitting, they burn it, that the whole rope also cannot be burned.
Yes. Okay.
That
So
is
that's why
his resolution, and he has to.
Yeah, because then that's why he emerged from the proper of trance. He just shot out his rope. This means his rope is still with him in a good condition.
How can that resolution so powerful?
Yeah, because this is the Nirodha Samapatti. Okay, so the condition is the jhana must be very high and only happen to non-returner and an arahant. He's the arahant here. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this is the story here. So I put
Thank
the
you
link
very
here.
much. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now the second resolution is that the waiting of the Sangha. The third one is sermon of the great teacher, means the Buddha. And then fourth is limit of lifespan. All right. So here is actually interesting when we see the behavior of monks at that time, right? Now, okay. Somebody will read the number 2. Sister Pui Fun. Okay.
Yes, Saji.
Okay.
So he must make this resolution. May I get out of this attainment if the Sangha needs my services? If he makes this resolution, then when the Sangha needs him, he will emerge from it by himself. If he does not make this resolution, but enter into Nirodha Samapatti, and the Sangha needs his services, then Sangha will send one monk to his presence. That monk would say something like, Venerable Sangha needs you. At that time, he emerged from Nirodha Samapatti. Because he did not do the primary duty in our example, he has to be taken out of Nirodha Samapatti by another person. If he makes this resolution, then there is no need. Sorry, I can't read. Then it has to be taken out. Sorry, Saji, I couldn't read the bottom one. Because I'm using a handphone, it's a limitation.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Like if he makes the solution, then there's no need for another monk to go to him and
to
wake
go
him
to
out.
him and wake him up. He will get out of Nirodha Samapatti by himself. So sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, this one you can see that even though he attained the Nirodha Samapatti, the cessation, he need to make this resolution. So if the Sangha needs him, when do the Sangha needs him? When, for example, they're having a important meeting about, like they have a kind of like important meeting due to a special event. They need to purify the Sangha from the bad monks. So those who are in the Nirodha Samapatti, they will get out if they make this restoration, right? So if he didn't get out, then somebody had to come and wake him out, right? This means that even though he in the Nirodha Samapatti, if he had this restoration, he still can be very useful to the Sangha. Not to say that he wastes his time, right? But we don't know how long he stay in this Nirodha Samapatti. Then there's a condition number 4, all right? So, but we read number 3 first. Okay, next person. Subang, you read the number 3. Yes.
Thank you, Saji. The third one is the same. He resolves that he should emerge from Nirodha Samapatti if he is summoned by the Buddha. Sometimes Buddha may need him. When Buddha needs him, he makes this resolution that he will emerge from the attainment by himself. If he does not do it, then the Buddha may send some monks to him to tell him that Buddha needs him. Then he may emerge from Nirodha Samapatti.
Thank you. Yeah. So same also, like if the Buddha needs his service, maybe the Buddha want to send him to another place to do some teaching, or there's some bad monks, then the Buddha send him to preach some Dhamma to the bad monks. So he will go there, right? Okay, number 4 is important, all right? Okay, next person. Okay, Shili, you can read number 4.
Okay, Sayagyi. He must know that he will not die in 7 days. That is because there can be no death during Nirodha Samapatti. If he does not do this resolution and he enters into Nirodha Samapatti, and if death would come, let us say, on the 5th day, what would happen? He will not die until the 7th day or what? It is said that he would emerge from the Nirodha Samapatti and then die.
Okay, so it's a question here, but it's best that he knows that he will not die in 7 days, all right? Because if he enter Nirodha Samapatti and that happen, nobody can escape the death. So what happened if the death happened when he in the Nirodha Samapatti? At that time, he already stopped all the mental activities. So it's better that he make clear of this point first, all right? But let's say if he die on the 5 days, then he had to emerge from the Nirodha Samapatti and die, right? Okay, I think that's the end here. So I want to share this one because I think it's important for us to know there are few types of attainment besides the Magga. So somebody can attain the fusion that's called Phala Samapatti. And for those very good in jhana, for Anagami and Arahant, they can do the cessation, attainment of cessation. And what are the purpose of this? It's just to say they just want to enjoy the time. Especially for those who attain Arahant. When somebody attain Arahant, they have no other purpose already. They had done their duty. So they either can do teaching, or they teach other monks, or if they have free time, what should they do, right? Then they can either choose these two, all right? Because they don't want to, I think most of them, they say that Sariputra never sleep after his enlightenment. Okay. So, all right, so maybe we finish this one. I think last week I go quite quickly on this stage of enlightenment. Okay. But I think I did mention about the Sotapanna or this different state on the first chapter already. So it's only at this where we come to the commentary have give us more details on like 3 types of stream and teller, right? Where he born, at most 7 times a human or celestial world, or he born 2 or 3 times before handship, or he born only 1 time, right? So there are 3 types of stream and teller. And all these actually based on commentary, right? Commentator. And then once returner. Okay. Now, even in Abhidhamma, sometimes you will be confused, you know. Like Lady Sayadaw, he will say there are different opinions. Sometimes his idea might not support this Abhidhamma Sanghaha, right? So different commentator, different Sayadaw have different explanation, all right? Now, according to commentary of the Pugala Panyati, there are 5 kinds of once returner, right? So, in human, take back in human, and then attain Nibbana also in human plan. Or in human, go to heaven and come attain the Nibbana. Or attain in heaven, take birth in heaven and attain Nibbana there, right? And so on. So it's all different sequence, right? But so sometimes the once returner should have 2, right? Normally once returner should have 2. But he still called once returner because normally he return only 1 time to human world. Compared to the stream enterer reborn is at most 7 times, right? At most 7 times. Now, why is it once returner is only 1 or 2 times? The reason is they have already abandoned different kind of defilements. For once returner, they have you can see the chart here. Okay. Okay, stream and this one once returner. Once returner actually, he does not reduce any defilements, okay, but he reduce a lot of greed and hatred, right? So you can see even though it's 0 for the second enlightenment, but it actually reduces a lot of anger and hatred, right? That's why he only reborn only 1 or 2. But he is called once returner because he returned only 1 time to human world. And clearer is non-returner, okay? Why we call non-returner? Because does not return anymore to the karma vachara. Because already the reason is eradicated sensual lust or evil. As he has no more sensual lust, he will not return to the karma vachara. So very clear. So this one refer to karma vachara plan, right? So last year means kama raga. Okay, you can see the kama raga and vyapada. So if somebody have no more sensual lust, then definitely will not come to the human world. This kama vachala means the human world and the deva world. But he will, after he pass away, he will be born in a Brahma world. Okay? So that's why he will reborn in a 5 material realm and attain Nibbana there. Now, normally we talk about the Sudavasa, pure abode, all right? Even though we say only Sudavasa, in the Sudavasa, there's only Anagami. But it doesn't mean that all the Anagami must go there. Some of the Anagami can also reborn in human or other, maybe human, because some Anagami do, besides human, I think also in Brahma, other Brahma. Not to say must be in the Sudavasa. Sudavasa means pure abode. Okay? It's called Sudavasa. And you can read the story later. Okay. And according to text, there are different way of enlightenment, different way of for the non-returner, right? Sometimes they hear and so on. So I think this is not so important. You can read yourself. So the key point is Anagami fully eradicated the sensual lust and evil, right? So that's the only thing. Okay, now, Arahant will be total abandonment of all the defilements, right? So he abandoned, we call it the lower factors that bind beings to the lower world. That's the essential world, right? So he also abandoned the 5 higher factors. That is bind the because lower world means go to the lower stage. Lower stage means that the plan, the Kama Vachara. So these 5 higher factors means go for Rupa Arupa. Okay. So desire for fine material existence, desire for immaterial existence, conceit. So at this point, mana, conceit, Arahant has no conceit. So if somebody attain Arahantship, the mind should be very, very humble, right? Even like Sariputra. So the Sariputra, when all the monks leave the monastery to go for alms round, he will stay back and he will sweep the floor. He will put the things all nicely back. You can see, even though he's a Arahant, his mind is so humble. So no more conceit. Okay. And Arahant has no more restlessness. This means that because of this, Arahant will never have dream, never have dream at all. And of course, Arahant has no more ignorance. Okay, I think now our place battery got problem also. I say today also no battery. Okay. So I think I had to stop the class soon.